I'm Bejay Lieber. I'm the recruiting director over at Redbone Trucking. I manage our recruiting, marketing, and safety. We currently have just a little over 200 drivers at this count in total, and we generally hire roughly between 12 and 14 drivers a month. Yeah. There were a few big things that led to a lot of slowdowns with getting applicants processed, things like the difficulty with the application, the inability to have it communicate with any of the other systems that we use. They could send and receive text from one number, but they couldn't call that number. So drivers were being confused because we were communicating that with them through so many different means. And so not having any way to incorporate what they're doing into our business very well led to hiccups and slowdowns in the hiring process, which did lead to us losing several drivers because of those slowdowns. One of the biggest factors was we were really not able to get much support from our previous ATS provider. Us being just a mid-sized company, we're really small compared to a lot of our customers. So we had a lot less leverage when it came to trying to get support or trying to get any features changed via recent previously. Yeah, the biggest factor on how it's affected us is our application completion rate was sitting just around 33%, slightly under 33% with our old ATS. And currently in double nickel, it is very close to 50% on average from when we actually get them on the phone and they agree that they're interested in the position. So that's almost a 20% increase in application completion rate. That's a big number over the course of a year. That has also allowed us to decrease our lead to hire on average by 5 drivers. Yeah, we usually are contacting around 100 people a day. And we were doing usually 2 calls a day on each and every one of those. So there's about 200 calls a day between me and just one other recruiter. You multiply that by 3, you end up at 600 units. I mean, that's 10 hours of labor in addition to any other work you have to do. So with the dialer system that we were able to incorporate, we were able to bring our call time down on average from 3 minutes to just 1 minute, without needing to sacrifice our ability to build rapport with those drivers on the phone call where it big length. We could still spend the time necessary to foster relations with our drivers there and not being such a hurry through the rest of the process. It also gave us more time to be able to spend extra time doing background checks, verifications of employment, any other aspect of the recruiting. I have had nothing but positives to say about the support that we've received, in especially this transitional period between our previous ATS and now double nickel. Is we have had minor hiccups here and there from time to time, as you would with any transition. But when we have those, we have had instances where I send a message and a minute later, I get a response saying it's being worked on. And then less than an hour later, the entire problem has been resolved. And that is really incredible, especially when there may be things that you expect to take longer to resolve. Yeah. My number one biggest concern when it came to switching over to the new ATS was, how is it going to affect our driver-facing experience? But I've been really pleasantly surprised by how easy the user interface is to interact with on both sides. The other big thing was the transfer of data and getting that handled by your team and not needing to be very involved with that. You guys had just taken care of it. It was alleviated a lot of my concerns about that. Yeah. I absolutely would recommend double nickel. And the biggest reasons are because you're going to get some of the best support in the industry. You're going to be given access to cutting edge tools and technology to help you in advantage for recruiting and safety to make you waste less time and effort.